Hey pipe smokers, Southern Piper here, coming to you once again from the outdoor smoking lounge for another Monday Musing. I certainly appreciate you stopping by and sharing a pipe with me. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to chat with y'all about, it kind of hit me in the face. Because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to smoke. So I'll give you a little bit of kind of what's going on. I've had a busy weekend. I've redone the deck, restained it, power washed, doing some spring cleaning. And worked on that mostly yesterday, and then today we had church, and I'm joining the church. Then I had a Truvy, and I had a Princess Truvy, and I had a meeting with the pastor this evening. And so by the time I finally got home, I said I need to record a Monday Musing. And I was going to talk about one thing and kind of change my mind because it took me so long to figure out what I wanted to smoke. I said, well, I'm going to talk a little bit, and it's just a ramble, about how you decide what you want to smoke. So how do you decide what you want to smoke? I'm curious. That's a question. You can respond in the comments. How do you decide what you're going to smoke or what you're going to smoke it in? Well, I finally decided because as I was getting ready and eating a quick bite of dinner and feeding the dogs, I was watching some videos. I was watching Donnie over at Pipe and a Pour, and he was talking about hypocrisy, and I thought I could. And then the next, you know how the videos, it'll suggest the next one. So the next one was him doing Paladin Piper's Codger Challenge. So I said, well, let me go see what Paladin's doing with the Codger Challenge. So I was like, I'll smoke a Codger blend. It's like, y'all spoke to me, guys. Y'all spoke to me. So I am smoking some Granger. And I am smoking it in my Camoys Rover. This is an estate pipe. Y'all have probably seen this one before. I got this several years ago on eBay. It was I had bought a nice pipe rack, vintage pipe rack. And it came with about, 10 or 12 estates. And I probably cleaned up, I'd say, 4 or 5 of them. This was one of them. I believe that's true. I believe I'm telling the truth on this one. So anyway, so how do you decide what you're going to smoke? A lot of times, I go through phases where I have go-to blends, right? Right now, my go-to blend is J4 Burley. That has been one that has just really kind of grabbed a hold of me. And I've been enjoying that. Last year I smoked a lot of Englishes because I was wanting to. I swear they gotta get their time on camera, don't they? Or at least be heard. So last year I smoked a lot of English blends. So my go-tos were things like Chelsea Morning, Red Rapper, and stuff like that. then you go, well, I'm feeling the mood for something a little different. So, how do you pick what you're going to smoke? I'll be interested to find out. So, like I said a minute ago, I was trying to decide what I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight, and then I was struggling with what to smoke. So I figured I would start the video out with a little ramble about picking tobacco. I'm drinking John Emerald's single malt whiskey. It is a whiskey, not a bourbon. Doesn't have corn in it. That is so annoying. I wish I knew what they were barking at. Probably nothing. Probably their own shadows. I apologize. I'm probably not going to edit that out, so you're just going to have to suffer. So, I mentioned that I'm joining the church. I've been attending church with Princess Trudy for about a year and a half, and I figured it was time for me to go ahead and join. So, part of the process to join our church is we have to write our testimony. And I started thinking about that. And when we met with the preacher this evening too, he asked me what my testimony was. And I've kind of shared with y'all some trials that I went through over the past probably 6 years. 6 years. And so that's the bulk of my testimony. You know, part of when we were talking to the preacher, and I told him, that I had, so I grew up in a Christian home, had, parents and grandparents that were very involved, surrounded by love. My parents would pray with me at night, taught me how to pray. Became a Christian at a young age. I grew up Methodist, so I was baptized as an infant. But in my late 20s, we joined the Baptist church when I was in the Air Force, and so had to take the plunge, had to be dunked to join that church. So, and I have the spiritual gift of faith. So I've never really had this spectacular testimony, kind of boring. Never really had a lot of trials either, until about 6 years ago. And so that's where kind of my testimony begins. And, I got a divorce, lost my job, but they were good to me. They gave me a nice severance package. But I had to move. I had to relocate, and I had to move away from my kids, and that was awful, gut-wrenching. I hated it. And really turned away. I was very angry and bitter at God. And so worked through that. Dealt with a lot of depression during that, as you can imagine. Really, looking back on it, the depression started before then. It really started, during the marriage failing. But thankfully, having parents that love me and pray for me and my well-being, having a sister and brother-in-law who, they just surrounded me with love. Dear, dear friends that surrounded me with love and prayed for me. was able to move back to, because I got moved here with the company I work for, closer to the kids. But got back in church. Met Princess Trudy, and then got back in church with her. And what I've come to, said all that to say, I'm carrying on here, said all that to say, I don't know why I had to go through what I went through, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but I figure, I can try to use it for good. I can use it for kingdom business. So if other men find themselves in a similar situation, struggling, through whatever they're going through, I've also walked that path, and maybe that's why I had to walk it, so I could help other men who are going through things. That's what I like to believe. And I've helped dear friends of mine, who have gotten divorced and dealing with that, and help other buddies in a Bible study that I attend, just talk through issues they have, because they're living away from their kids and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And there's my testimony for you. So if anybody's seeing this ever, down and out, struggling, reach out to me. I can talk to you. I can pray for you, whatever you need. My email is in the channel description. This Granger's really good. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna title this video. I'll figure that out. I've got several hours before I have to get a title. So anyway, I appreciate y'all listening, particularly if you've stuck it out all 13 plus minutes. A couple of reminders before I let you go. Gaul has been announced. You can go see that video for the details. What else? Central Alabama Pipe Club. We have a meeting coming up in 2 weeks. Stay tuned for location because the Briary option is somewhat up in the air right now, so I'll be announcing that. What else? We're heading into summer real quick. And I'm going to have a very busy summer. I'll talk more about that in a future video. But listen, I appreciate y'all sticking around. We're past 14 minutes. I lost most of you about 10 minutes ago. But I hope y'all have a great week. We'll see you again later in the week. Until then, I bid you happy smoking and blessings to your family.